Okay, class tonight is sponsored by Avram Maradian for Leila Nishmas Tzvanya Ben Michal, Shem Shev and Aliyah. Okay, back to davening of Rosh Chodesh. Okay, so we learned the various different things, where the aliyahs, the repeating of the pasuk, and all that. Okay, so now after Torah reading, you see Ashir Volotzion, and then you bring the Sefer Torah back to the Heichal. Now, there is an interesting thing from the Rebbe, because sometimes the Chazan would finish off at the end of a Volotzion, B'chva Hashem Adiyad. So then technically it would be a shaila if the Chazan should say Kaddish or not. So therefore the minig is he doesn't finish it. In other words, he doesn't finish Volotzion at the end, and therefore you bring the Sefer Torah back before the Sefer Torah back, before the Chazan finishes off, so then you don't have an issue with the Kaddish.
Where do we stop?
Wherever. The minig is usually when they finish clearly, you do your halalu, and everybody just finishes a Volotzion. Okay, then those that put on Rabbeinu Tam's and the other tefillin, they put it on before Musaf, but the learning, because certain, not Rabbeinu Tam, but it's certain Shemush Ravid and Shemush Rabbit, there's certain things you learn in the tefillin. So you put them on, you say Shema, but you don't, the learning is done after Musaf. Okay, then you take off the tefillin before Musaf. Why do you take off the tefillin before Musaf? Because in Musaf you say Keseh Yitna L'cha, and it's not right to be crowned with tefillin, the crown of tefillin, when you're saying Keseh Yitna L'cha. Therefore there's a minig, I guess it says somewhere, I don't know, that let's say you're still davening Shachris, and the minion gets to Keser, so when you say Keser, you either put your talus over your tefillin, or the hat over the tefillin, Rosh, because you're not supposed to say, that's the minig in the yeshiva, so to speak, of doing that. Okay.
Why not like make a chatzitza? Because you're still wearing it.
Chatzitza, what do you mean?
Put something under your tefillin, your hand or something. So
it's easier to do it that way, first of all.
I know, but covering it, you're still wearing it.
You're still wearing the other way also. It's not that it shouldn't be revealed.
Yeah.
You're saying Keser, of Keser, so you have that crown. This crown is covered, so it's not visible. Okay, next. Okay, now, this a lot of people don't know, that when they, okay, so now you finish Rabbeinu Tam's tefillin, and now you're ready to start Musaf. So normally the Chazan goes over and says, have Kaddish. But the question is, there's a problem with that, because there's a long break from a Volotzion until you start saying Kaddish, because you're putting on Rabbeinu Tam's tefillin. So therefore it says that the Chazan should quietly say a short kapitel of Tillim. And then he says the Kaddish, the half Kaddish goes on that kapitel of Tillim. Because the Moshe during the week, let's say Shabbos, right? You say Ashrei, okay? And then, okay, there's different, you have speeches, but that's also Dvar Torah. But it says the Rebbe writes that the Chazan should say a short kapitel Tillim, Eizem Mizmeh, doesn't say which one, doesn't matter which one, and then he says half Kaddish.
Right before Kaddish.
Yes.
Is that after the Volotzion?
No, after Volotzion, take off your tefillin, put on Rabbeinu Tam's.
When do you say the introduction?
Right before Kaddish and Musaf.
After Rabbeinu Tam.
Only the Chazan though.
After Rabbeinu Tam.
Yeah. Okay, you say Vaham Rachim, okay, you say Kaddish Tiskabla and Kolakenu, then you say Kapitel Chof before Tillim because, you didn't say Lam Natzech. Okay, now we're going to the dinim of saying Halal on Rosh Chodesh. So we mentioned the other day that Halal is one of the 7 rabbinic mitzvahs, but Rosh Chodesh Halal is only a minhag. It's not actually halacha. Okay, so Rosh Chodesh, okay, and it says very sharp that there shouldn't be a Jew that doesn't say Halal. Now, you make a bracha, Shekachon Mitzvah Tzivanu L'Kreyas HaHalel. Now, by full Halal, the minhag is, the din is, everybody says. In fact, there's an interesting thing. According to certain nuschois, when you say complete Hallel, the bracha is different. They say, Sheketchanu b'mitzvahs v'tzvanu ligmor es ha'Hallel. Because the mitzvah in Rabbanan is to say the whole Hallel, to complete it. So many people say the bracha Sheketchanu b'mitzvahs v'tzvanu ligmor es ha'Hallel. We don't. A lot of other poskim say you don't. Why don't you say the bracha ligmor if that's the mitzvah? Because then if you skip the word by mistake, then you're making a bracha in vain. Because then you didn't say the whole Hallel, you left out a word. So because it's possible that somebody's going to leave out a word, so the bracha is al likrayas ha'Hallel, and that's it. Now, so normally, on a full Hallel, everybody says the bracha before and after. Half Hallel we learned the other day, it's a big machlekes in halacha if you say a bracha or not. So consider that the Rebbe right, you say a bracha, the Chazan says the bracha, and then people answer Amen, and the Yaitz said the bracha at the beginning, and then at the end, they also don't say the end bracha, they just listen to the Chazan and answer Amen on his bracha. But, so that's officially a Chabad minhag. There's a sikha from the Rebbe says that the Chassidim couldn't hold themselves back and they would grab in the bracha before the Chazan. Okay? So is that official Chabad minhag? Either yeah or no. So many people will tell you, yeah, the Rebbe said it, that's what you do. And some people say, no, the Rebbe said what Chassidim used to do. But the bottom line is today, most of the guys do it. They say the bracha, but you have to finish it before the Chazan says the bracha. Okay, now why don't you make a shechianu on Hallel? If it's a rabbinic mitzvah, you should make a bracha on Hallel. So the answer is, because you don't make a shechianu, why don't you make shechianu on Hallel? Because you don't make a shechianu, this is what the Magen Avraham writes, you don't make a shechianu on a mitzvah that it comes less than a half a year apart. It has to be more than half a year a mitzvah to be able to say shechianu. So because you have from Nisan to Tishrei, you have Shavuos, when you say whole Hallel. Even from Tishrei, from Simchas Torah to Nisan, you have 8 days of Chanukah, which is the mitzvah to say Hallel. So you don't have any time of the year that you have 6 months that you don't say Hallel. The mitzvah of Hallel. So therefore, the din is the Magen Avraham writes, you don't make shechianu on Hallel because it's not a mitzvah that comes enough from time to time.
In a leap year doesn't.
Huh?
In a leap year also.
Also, you don't have 6 months because you have Chanukah.
How many days is it when you haven't seen your friend? 30.
30 days you make shechianu, but that's if you eat a new fruit. Every other day you can make a bracha. Here we're talking about bracha of a mitzvah versus bracha of enjoyment. Shechianu on a fruit, or shechianu on seeing a friend that you really like, yeah, you make a shechianu, that's birchas hanenim. Then there's a shechianu you say on a mitzvah. So you don't make a shechianu every day on tefillin, right? You don't make a shechianu every day on talis. Why don't you make a shechianu? Because it's a common mitzvah. So what the halacha says, it has to be at least a half a year that you don't do the mitzvah, then you can make a shechianu on the mitzvah. So the Pearl Halu, you never have a half a year.
You really do say shechianu? You haven't seen your friend for 10 years?
10 years? 30 days.
I know.
12 months you make a bracha mechaya
You haven't
mesa.
seen him in 20 years?
It depends how happy you are.
What's the test?
These brachas, by the way, it says in halacha, these brachas that like you see a zoo, go to the zoo, a lot of these brachas, they say are optional. Halacha says they're optional, you don't have to make the brachas. The reason...
If you have 2 friends and you haven't seen both of them for 30 days and they both think that you're going to be happy, but you're really only happy about one, is it rude? But you would only make one shechianu anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like the second, or if you see one one.
Yeah, I see where you're going, yeah.
You have to make it for one day.
I told you your questions are too complicated for my head. Sorry. But again, by Chassidim, when he used to come Tishrei to the Rebbe, there was one Chassid, Reb Zalman Shmotkin. He's the father of the Shmotkin, well, the grandfather and the grandfather of the Shmotkin gang. So when he came from New York, from Eretz Yisrael for Tishrei, at the end of the last Kaddish, the first davening, he was there. Loud, he said in the shul, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech shechianu v'kimonu v'higanu l'zman hazeh. That was seeing the Rebbe. By Chassidim, if they didn't see the Rebbe 30 days, I would say shechianu. They did say. But again, a friend, if it's a close friend that you missed, or if it's 12 months, you say Mechaya Mesim. This is another interesting bracha by itself.
What about the old man?
You don't make a shechin with the Yeril. First of all, shechianu can only be on a mitzvah that the body enjoys. Oil is spiritual. It's not body. It's not. You're not seeing anything physical. There's nothing. What?
It's in the Mayan Rosh.
Shechianu doesn't say.
It's not?
No.
Mechaya Mesim.
Yeah, that's a bracha. You see a cemetery. Any cemetery, you say that bracha Mechaya Mesim anyway. If you weren't there 30 days.
You do say that?
Yeah. Unless if you were in a cemetery, any cemetery, within 30 days, then you don't make the bracha. If you go to a funeral, or any time you go to a cemetery and you weren't there 30 days, you have to say that bracha, and what's in the mind of Mechaya Mesim. That's a din shchunah.
Rabbi, who determines what is enjoyable for one person against the other?
No, if it's enjoyable for you, not for somebody else.
Okay, very good. So if I have a nice socks that I love it and I enjoy it and I want to wear it, I could say shechianu.
No, only the first time you wear it.
On the first time, yes, on the first time. But you
Again, technically in halacha, you would be allowed to do it. The custom is today, even generally speaking, on clothing, you don't make a bracha, because today people buy clothing very often. But technically, let's say a guy buys a new talus. You don't buy a talus every year. You buy a talus, let's say, once every 5 years or whatever it is. So a lot of people, even though they don't make shechianu on clothing, but they would make a shechianu on a new talus because it's something, special. Trust me, a guy has more enjoyment from a new talus than on a peach or a plum. What?
What about nowadays getting some sort of car or electronic device or something like that?
They tell a story. There was an Orthodox, somebody came to an Orthodox rabbi. He says, do I make a shechianu on my new Jaguar? So the rabbi says, what's a Jaguar? No, and the other guy, then he goes, it's 3 levels. Goes to the conservative, anyway. No, he goes to the conservative rabbi. The rabbi asks him, what's a bracha? No, that's 3, 4, whatever. Whatever it is. Mezuzah, whatever. But, do you make a bracha on appliances? No, you don't. The minig is you don't. By the way, in Shchunah it says, if you buy Chodesh, what happens when you buy a house? Okay? Do you make a shechianu when you buy the house? So there's a big machlekes in contemporary halacha, by the way. In Shchunah it says, okay, no Bais Chodesh, you make a shechianu. When do you make a shechianu? Halacha doesn't say clearly. But some poskim, Shchunah doesn't say clearly. The Mishnah doesn't say clearly. But some people have the first time they move in. Then other contemporary poskim say a very interesting thing. If the house is on a mortgage, then you can't say shechianu because really the bank owns it. No, this is what they write. I'm talking contemporary halacha. They write if there's a mortgage on the house, the bank owns the house, not you. So then, when you burn the mortgage, then you can make a shechianu.
So if you bought a talus on your credit card and you didn't pay the bill yet, it's not the end of the month, you can't make a shechianu.
No, that's different. The mortgage, the credit card can't take away your talus. The house can take away your bank. What?
What's the bracha of Chayam?
On what?
What's the bracha when you go to the cemetery?
No, that we say Ata Gibel, like in Shmonat, Ata Gibel Le'elam Hashem Mechayim Mesim Baruch Atah Hashem Mechayim Mesim. That the second bracha of the Shmonat. You start Ata Gibel. Ata Gibel, yeah. The whole second bracha. Okay, Machat Shin Zon Meisem Memachavei Mein Kim Shvala Gal Teira. Kanam Nakashi Medas God Baruch Zak Sofi Gachebel Am Termit.